Hello, everyone. Happy evening, a very good evening. I hope and I believe all of you are doing well. So, first of all, please let us know if you can see us and if you can hear us. Is the audio video all good? Everybody who's here? Okay, that's great. So, happy evening, everyone. Here we have with us Dr. Bharath Reddy, who's got an amazing score of 233 in his very first attempt at FMG, that is FMG July 24. And Dr. Bharath has done his MBBS from DMSF Philippines. So, heartiest congratulations, Dr. Bharath, on your incredible achievement.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm very fortunate to share that I have scored this 233 in my very first attempt in the FMG examination. So I'm really, thank you, ma'am.
I mean that's really great, Dr. Bharat, and we are here to learn from you because there are students like you who have sailed through this exam very well, but at the same time there are quite a few students who have not been able to do that, and they would really like to have some insights, from you to understand that, how did you approach this exam? What are the areas where they can work upon, and what should be the strategy? So, right, it is said that it's always wise to learn from someone else's journey who has done it in the past, rather than, we trying to do it all again by ourselves. So we would really like to know that, when did you actually, start preparing for FMG exam?
Actually, I started preparing after my graduation itself, ma'am, for the examination. But before that, I actually started having my basics very strong from my college day itself. So I should also mention that whatever the basics and the foundation that I have is because of my faculty, which has taught me in the college days itself. So from the basics itself, and I used to have the prep ladder and videos. So during my third year and fourth year, I used to cover those videos and watch those videos, like whichever the rotation we used to have in our college days, like radiology department and surgery. So OBGYN. During that time, I used to watch those videos, and also for every subject, I used to write my own notes, ma'am, so that I can revise. Whenever I revise, it's also going to be easy for me. So easy to understand and easy to revise again. So that's how I started, ma'am. But after the graduation itself, I for the full strength FMG examination preparation is started around like March first week, because my graduation was done in the February last week, ma'am. So I started around like March first week, like that, ma'am.
Okay, that's great. So what we get to know, like, first of all, like you said, I've seen the majority of the DMSF students, right? DMSF Philippine students being very good with their basics. I've interacted with quite a few of them. Second, like you said, the majority of the students who actually score good do it right from their foundation. Like when they are doing the MBBS curriculum, you build up your base, and then once you are done with it before the exam, like 3 months, 4 months before the exam, you actually get all in for the FMG exam and you focus on what is required for the exam. Right. So we would also like to know that when did you actually start, doing the MCQ practice?
Actually, I mean, like last June attempt, I came to know like FMG examination and its pattern, like these PYQs and PYQ topics are most important for the strategy to succeed in the examination. So as it just like just randomly from some of the recalls like that, I because in the June exam they say like it is one of the most toughest FMG paper ever, because even the pass percentage at that year was around like less than 10%, 10% only. So that was most toughest examination. Like there are so many people used to tell that like FMG is very hardest exam to clear by the FMGs. So then I just randomly given like this recall paper, ma'am. So in that, I just got like 160 around like that. So I thought like that is already a recall paper. So we couldn't say like most of the questions are like same to same like a paper. There will be major changes in the recalls and the real paper. So I thought like let's start practicing. Even in our DMSF also we used to have the MCQs pattern. Most of our examinations is like MCQ based only. So from the college days itself, I used to practice more. And after this June after when I came to know about this June exam and how this pattern, so I started also practicing like MCQs, and I used to create the custom modules in the Prepler app like that. So because if once we use we cannot use because it's already going. It's already it will show like we are already done with the question bank. So I used to create the custom modules and different topics. Whatever the topics I have done, whatever the subjects I have done. So I'm going to practice that MCQs. And in that MCQs also, after the MCQs, and I used to check those where did I went wrong and where what are the topics I'm weak and how should I build my strongness on those topics, how to cover those topics, because we should not repeat those mistakes again, because as we know that rule number one is like 159 is equal to 0, 150 is equal to 300 in the FMGE examination. So that's why even each one MCQ mistake also I used to revise again the topic, and I used to write the notes like why it went wrong and how to improve for the next test like that.
Okay, so like you mentioned, you used to make notes. So notes making does take time, right? That's the perception that everybody has, that if you make your own notes, it's a lot of time taking. So did you never feel that?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, that's really time taking, because even when I'm used to have like in the third year itself, it used to be like we used to have like a spare of time to write the notes and all. But when it is comes to our clerkship period in the fourth year, it's very hard because it's a hectic period. We have to go for the hospitals and then we have to see the videos and again write the notes. It's quite time management is very important at that time. But yes, ma'am, actually it is very consumption. But still, I used to write very concise, ma'am. Not like every point to point, but most important points, and I used to concise so that I can, whenever I open that notes, okay, the topic is very familiar to me, and I can revise it like that. I used to write very concisely.
Okay, so how did you make the notes? I mean, you had for one subject, one book, like all anatomy points at one place, physiology at one place. How did you actually make it?
In the majors, ma'am, when it is comes to the surgery, I used to revise along with the anatomy, ma'am. So most of the anatomy part along with the surgery it used to cover, and along with the surgery, I used to integrate, ma'am, not just like reading like this subject for the particular topic and write those notes, but instead of that. For example, surgery along with the anatomy along with the radio, like that, ma'am. I used to integrate. So at the same time, I used to come with this radio part of the surgery system. For example, let's say GI, all the barium studies in the radio, I can integrate, and same time, all the GI system, anatomy part, like that, I used to integrate, ma'am.
Okay, got it. I think that's one of the best strategies, basically, to read a topic holistically so that you know everything about that topic in and out, right? But again, there's a perception that if you do like that, you do not get that sense of completion of a subject. And at the end, when you do integrated study like this, a student might feel that, you know, I've not done surgery completely, I've not done anatomy completely. So, did you ever get that feeling?
No, ma'am. Actually, because when I started doing surgery, yes, actually, I'm doing the surgery newly, but along with that, I'm integrating with anatomy, radio, or just say physio. I'm revising them again. So it's like a revision for the other subject and reading for the first time for the surgery. So again, when I'm going back to the again second revision of the surgery, it's like again I'm going to revise this other subjects. It's like building my revision patterns.
Okay.
So I can
Basically,
get
you had
more
done
strength on those
anatomy,
subjects.
physiology once, and then when you were doing surgery, you revised that anatomy and physiology or radiology part as well.
Yes, ma'am. So it will also increase the number of times of revisions.
Okay, okay. And now, considering that the students will be starting to prepare for FMG December 24 exam, what do you think should be their timeline? How should they plan their days before the exam? Now, let's say that if they're starting from August, right? So, when should be their first read and then the first revision, the second revision? How many revisions are required? How should be the timeline till the exam?
And ma'am, for the timeline like that, ma'am, first of all, we have to complete all, and some people will tell all the subjects are not much important. Like some subjects is enough to clear the FMG examination like that. But I feel, ma'am, like every subject has equal importance, ma'am. So even I thought like I can skip the orthopedics and other subjects like very minor subjects, anesthesia or some of the minor subjects. I also thought like let's skip this subject, but these are the subjects that where doesn't need so much stress we need to put. Even with the 2 hours or 3 hours reading, also we can give those subjects like direct questions from those subjects we can attempt. So I feel like those who are preparing for the December, please try to complete like all the subjects, give the equal importance. You don't have to read like all the topics and all the subject. You can read like most important, most repeated topics from the last 5 years FMG, so that you can see like these are the topics we need to focus more in these subjects, so that we can cover, maximize our time also, and also maximize our importance of the each subject. So I believe like that. And when it is comes to the revision, ma'am, revision is the most important, because the more and more we revise, it will be grasped into our mind, so that when we see the question on the exam day, it's easy to recall. But if we don't revise, it will be time waste in our examination, because we cannot recall and we will confuse with the options. We might change the option, we might again stuck with the two options, and it will be time taking. And the new FMG pattern is like 50 questions per section, like it is like a section timed. So it will take the time consumption also if we cannot revise. So I feel like revision is more important, ma'am, at least because August, September, October, November, December, mostly I feel like in the January they may release the exam date, maybe. So they have plenty of time. I would like to suggest them like give as many as you can. For me, I can say, ma'am, I try to manage and I given like at least 3 revisions before my examination, ma'am. And in the last 1 month itself, I try to manage give like 2 revisions in the last 1 month. And the same before that, I used to revise this subject. On the same night, I used to revise again. So like that, maximize like 3 to 4 revisions, because it's also better to recall in the examination. I believe in like that, ma'am.
I think that's you brought out a very correct point, that, and I also believe that majority of the FMG students make a mistake here. Like they keep on reading, and when all the 19 subjects are done, since they've never revised, it all seems like you're back to square one. But if you keep revising, like you said, like whatever you read in the entire day, you revise it at night, or maybe with the other subjects, you try to integrate. That's another form of revision, right? So these are the revisions which actually help us to retain better. Having that perception that first let's finish all 19 subjects and then we'll do the revision, I think that's a major misconception that has to be resolved for sure.
That's true.
And also, like you mentioned, that it's not necessary to read everything of all the 19 subjects. So, I totally agree to that. And that's why I'll always tell the students, so do smart work. That is the most important. Focus on the areas which
Yes,
are
ma'am.
asked, because those are something that you cannot afford to make a mistake in. Right. So do you believe like, the courses like the short course which is there, or the courses that we have, like I run on MEDSYNAPSE app, they help in understanding these points and to learn those topics in a better way and in an easy way that help in better retention?
Stock, I believe in that also, because actually I didn't know about this, like all these topics, like all the series or the courses before when I was in the college. So But really, those will help ma'am in the FMG, because we came to know like we all study FMG is all studying the based on the foreign land and foreign syllabus. But when it is comes to the India and India examinations, it's different. It's already like a new examination for us. So when we came to know about these courses like shoot shot and any other like MedSynapse, as you mentioned, ma'am, like these are like very important, because we came to know like how this is the important topics for the Indian students and Indian examination pattern that we need to focus more up, and we need to give the more stress to these topics to grasp more from these topics so that we can clear this examination. So I believe that, ma'am, because actually I don't have any social medias, ma'am, during my preparation. So I used to see your videos in the YouTube, ma'am, like in your YouTube channel. So many videos and the recalls you used to do, and also so many other videos, ma'am. So and one day I just seen the link below that YouTube link, and there is a Telegram link. So and then I joined that link. It's some MedSynapse app, ma'am. So in that, when I already joined that Telegram link, it's already that the program is already started in the middle of the program. So I couldn't able to join. But every day, ma'am, I used to see those notes you used to upload. You were so kind, ma'am. Yeah, for the students, those who could not subscribe, also you used to upload those notes, ma'am. I really, those notes are really helping a lot, ma'am, for the revising the topics and get to know like these are the most important topics. On the first day, I seen that forensic medicine topic, like these are the most important topics we need to focus. So, for example, toxicology, identification part, and like that. Okay, these are topics I need to focus more. So, I say that they are most important, and they will help a lot, ma'am.
Got it. So like you said, like you did watch the videos on the YouTube channel. So, the various videos that I have based on the tricks to remember the topics. So, did they help you in your better retention, even though you've read it from a primary resource, but to consolidate it, but to retain it better? Did it actually help you?
Yes, doc. It's really helped out, because in my college days I don't have any like tricks and all, like because I used to fear like if I have suddenly have this tricks and all, if I suddenly see that if that question pop up like on my screen, suddenly if I forgot that tricks, I will be stuck in that options only. So I used to fear for that during my college days, because we also have like mostly MCQ based questions, ma'am. And but when it is comes to here, I have seen your videos like and everyone know that they are like mnemonics, but after seeing your videos, ma'am, I just believe that they are not mnemonics, that they are mnemonics. Like they really help, ma'am. Like so many mnemonics, and for example, in the orthopedics, that fractures, ma'am, and all those fractures like Coley's and Smith's fractures, every differences, ma'am. I used to have like very fear to the orthopedics, because they are like very five questions in the exam, but we need to remember more. We need to remember more from that subject. So, but when I'm watching your videos about the mnemonics or the also the tumors and all, it's really helped, ma'am, the mnemonics and all. For example, if we see the epiphysis tumors like ECG, like that, your mnemonics, like they are really help me, ma'am. And also during the examination, but as I fear that fear has not appeared on my examination, whenever I see these questions, whatever the tricks I have learned from you, and I have created even my own mnemonics also, they really help me in the examination, ma'am, because the time period for this examination is very less, and at the same time we need to grasp more knowledge. So, but these are really helping me, ma'am.
I mean, thank you so much. I mean, I'm glad to know that they could help you in your exam as well. And coming to the next point, how important do you think is MCQ practice for cracking this exam? And MCQ practice along with giving the grant test, the mock test.
Really, they also play the major role, ma'am, because sometimes we don't we if we give the directly exam without any MCQ practice or without any grant test, we don't know where we are making the mistakes, and we don't know how to correct those mistakes. Because if you are giving directly the exam, you don't know, they you might think this option is correct, yeah, I read this one, okay, this is correct, and you will attempt. But at the end of the day, you may see you don't know what is the answer and where did you went wrong. So MCQ practice is also very very important. And the grant test, I took it like very serious, ma'am. Every 10 days I used to give one grant test. As I said, like in the recalls itself, when I given in the last June paper, that recalls I have found in some platform. So I got like 160 some around, ma'am. And then I used to give like, okay, in the last June paper also I given the recalls paper in some platform. Then also I have seen like, okay, improvement, so that I can able to see the improvement, and also I get confidence. Okay, I can also like I'm not repeating these mistakes again and again. Okay, I'm repeating these mistakes, I have to cover this mistakes. Like it will help you a lot to not repeat the mistakes, and also make you confident that you can also clear this FMG examination.
Right. So the learning point is the grant test should be started as early as possible, rather than again a common mistake which is done by the students, that waiting for the first read and then giving the grant test. The early you start with giving the mock test, the better it is.
Yes.
And Dr. Bharath, I'm sure that during your preparation there must have been days where you felt low or you felt like not studying. So how did you used to overcome that?
Yes, Doc. Actually, in the beginning, actually, when I started this examination preparation and all, I'm confident that it's not like overconfidence, but I'm confident like, okay, I can clear this examination. But during one of the grand tests in the one of the test in the preparator app only, so I given the grand test. It went like 149 suddenly in the middle of my preparation. So I felt like, oh my god, suddenly what is this result? And did I struck with the topics that I have learned, or do I need to? Because 1 month only left, I don't have time to again revise back what are the topics I left and what I have to cover. So I felt on that day like, am I doing like overconfident and attempting all this like, am I really eligible to attempt this examination or not? But again, after I am realizing that, okay, whatever I have learned, I should be stick with that, and whatever the process I'm performing, I have to trust that process so that I can give my best with the strength, and also I don't want to stress my mind for that examination in the brief period of the 1 day examination, because today or tomorrow I have to clear that examination. Today or tomorrow I have to clear that examination. So I just thought like, don't have to be stressed for this examination. Whatever the process you are going through, please trust the process and have faith in you, and be positive for the steps. Like that, I believe, ma'am. So I used to cope up for that, cope up my stress like that, and I like that, ma'am.
Okay, that's great. So we would like to know, like, do you have any particular, like, any of your like favorite quote or some incident or something that has always been like the motivation that I have to crack this?
Actually, my family used to be very supportive, ma'am. Like my grandmother, my mother, and my sister. These are the three women like who always stood with me in every step of my career. And I lost my grandmother in my first year of my MBBS, but still she is the one who pushed me for the that we can do anything if we just dream for it, we can chase for it. So she used to inspire me a lot, and also my family, my mother and my sister, they're always supportive for me, ma'am, and they are like my major inspirations of my life. And also, if I have to mention, ma'am, and you are one of my inspiration, ma'am, and I have to say like, आपकी नाम और आपके काम तो सबको पता, मैम. Like if you say like FMGs from the Antarctica to America, everyone know about you, and in the IMGs, even Kashmir se Kanyakumari, everyone know about you, ma'am. And you also inspires me a lot, me, ma'am. And whatever the topics, and as I say, like even during my last days of preparation, also, ma'am, I used to watch your videos and the last punch videos, and you uploaded before the examination of the FMG. Like those are so many videos you used to upload also, like you don't have to be stressed. You used to upload like small bites in your YouTube channel. Those also really help my in the inspiration, ma'am.
Thank you so much. That was very kind of you, Dr. Bharath, to say that. And now you are on the other side, and you are an inspiration for so many students who are going to give the exam now. And I'm pretty sure that they've got a lot of valuable insights from all the suggestions that you have given them. And I'm sure they would make the best use of this. And on that note, we would definitely like to thank you for all the valuable inputs and for sparing your time and giving us all those valuable inputs for the future students to prepare well for the exam. Thank you so much, and heartiest congratulations again. And I'm hoping to see you again with the NEET PG, some great results in NEET PG as well. And I'm pretty sure you would do well there as well.
Thank you so much, Doc, and I'm very fortunate to share your screen and platform with you, ma'am. And also, I just want to tell all the students out here who are watching this video and those who are going to attend the December examination, please have faith in yourself and please be positive and trust your process, whatever the sources and whatever the revision you are doing, please trust your sources and trust the process. And also, I would like to suggest, like, it's not like, okay, I'm just telling like you follow this, but I'm really telling that whatever I have said, like these are really helped me a lot in my examination and able to score like this much score in my very first attempt. And you guys can also score more than this, and you can also see the best score in your career. So please trust the process, and I would suggest please follow Nikita ma'am, because her mnemonics and that really helped me a lot, and the videos ma'am notes are really helped me a lot in the examination part. Like, because whenever I'm revising those PDF files of you, ma'am, like those all the topics are like at the same point, because I don't have to go back again, like see that notes and see that here and there, because everything, the topic is everywhere, everything is arranged in the order, so that I can revise very well from your notes, ma'am. It's really helped a lot me, ma'am. And I would suggest you all to please trust your process and have faith. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Bharath, and thank you.